included with your package that you do as part of your annual budgeting, you need to include a 12-month cash roll forward so that you're incorporating your capital expenditures, you're incorporating any assumptions that you have within the budget that gives you a different picture of your financial stability. Your deficit and surplus budget that you're presenting only is one aspect of your financial stability, but your cash needs are a completely different one. In fact, if you get to the point where you're concerned really about what your cash flow is going to be even over the next quarter, let's say, you'd want to institute a 13-week cash flow forecast, which is more in depth. It does take some time to put together, and kind of whatever you put into is what you're going to get out of it. But it is important that you take the time and effort to do that, especially if you have concerns about meeting your next 13 weeks of obligations. So first, I start with the 12-month roll forward, and then have that as part of the budget package that you're presenting. And then moving forward, we kind of see how things are going throughout the fiscal year, and you might need to say, hey, let's start managing this and looking at it week by week. And by doing that, you're able to see where there might be some issues or constraints. It helps also for development planning too, because they might say, hey, let's put a campaign together during this time of year where it's typically not a strong giving time, and that helps fill in the gaps for cash flow during those 12 months, and you can manage it a little more tightly. I think there are mistakes made when nonprofits, again, are only looking at the statement of activities, looking at the 12 months that you planned in the budget, and they're not really doing the hard work to project out cash. I also think the board needs to be putting together an idea of what they want as level of reserves that you have for the organization, and what that runway or coverage looks like over your monthly burn rate. I always recommend that there's at least 6 months of cash that's available in reserves at any given time. That means 6 months of runway, so that if you do have a year like we've seen this last year with giving dropping, you're able to leverage some of those reserves if you had to, and you know that you've got some runway there. But when you eat into that is where you start to see issues. So I recommend that the board kind of have a floor, and that you monitor that and use that as one of your key performance indicators.